it should dump in right there. So you follow that pulmonary trunk where it links with the aorta. Intercostals again, those pink lines. Here you can see, I guess, the veins pretty well. Probably more so down there again. And dorsal aorta has aortic arch and descending arch. So you have the dorsal aorta. If you pull that, you can see it coming down. You have thoracic, and then as it moves into the abdominal cavity, abdominal aorta. So thoracic aorta, abdominal aorta. The arch is where those vessels are extending off. Thyroid and thymus. Here you can see the thyroid, this bean on top of the trachea. That's the thyroid. And then the thymus was everything we removed. So all those bands, that gland stuff that you had to just pick through and pick through and pick through and pick through, that was the thymus. Okay, so posterior vessels. Posterior, I try to do it in 5 minutes. Okay, posterior vessels. Usually I start on this side and then I switch to the arteries and then I go back to the veins. So here you can see inferior vena cava. Here's the hepatics coming out of the liver. If you lift this up, here you see this inferior vena cava. You can see the renals really well. Renal arteries going to the kidneys. That's your cue. This guy has a good it did have a good, there it is, good hepatic portal vein that's real distinct. So this pig, you're looking for something coming out of the small intestines up to the liver. See, that one, at least it's dyed. This guy has one, but it's not dyed. From there up to there. Okay. So here, then I switch at this point when I'm looking at these things and go to the left-hand sides and then find the arteries. So here we have one going up to the spleen and the stomach. That's the celiac. There is the superior mesenteric going to the intestines. On this side, same thing. This one, the colors aren't quite as deep, but you're looking for that vessel here. This one has a bigger space between the celiac and the superior mesenteric. So there's almost like a centimeter. This one, they're almost come off one and then the other. So there's some individual variation here, but it's where they're going to.
Can you point out these again? Sorry.
Bing, bink. Bing, bink.
Okay.
And then this one, bing, and then you go down farther about a centimeter, and then it's off. All right, so the adrial lumbar, just pick up the kidney. Pick up the kidney. Going off. You head down the track, you're still in the aorta, and now some of these have split off. One, you can see the posterior mesenteric going up the large intestine, posterior mesenteric going up the large intestine. This one right here. Okay, then you should have, I think he told me that here it is, going up the large intestine. Then the one going to the gonads, I think it broke on his. This one going up to the gonads. They should be one there, that one. You can see that one. It's not heading to the large intestine, but it's going back here. That's the gonadal. And then here is the external iliac with the iliolumbar coming off first. And then further down the external iliac is the femoral and the deep femoral. And the interior iliacs come off here. The Q is the umbilical artery, real prominent. So from there up it's the umbilical artery, but the internal iliac is right near that stem, and it heads into and it breaks off. So this is the internal iliac, this little guy right there. Down here it's external iliolumbar, external again, should be femoral, deep femoral, and then look here. And it should come off of there. The veins, there's a common iliac, and it's going to be underneath the external. So there's a common iliac vein, and it should be under the external. And then that splits, and the one that heads toward the middle, the medial portion is the internal iliac, the external iliac vein keeps going down. So, and again here it might be a little better on this side. So this is common, and then common, and then it should, then this one follows. This should be external, there should be an internal one right in there. The medial sacral, you kind of almost have to just keep getting your paper towel in there, and it's a really small, I think, it's a really, really small artery that kind of goes from the back there and heads to, there you can kind of see it, it's pink way at the bottom, heads to the back. Any of them I didn't get? Renal, gonadal, posterior, external.
Iliolumbar?
The iliolumbar is going to be that first one off of that external iliac. So see this guy, it's not going anywhere near the leg. It's heading towards the skin in the back. On this guy, it's this first one here. And I'm not seeing great veins in any of these, but look at the clear tubes underneath the arteries. Yeah, looks like this guy